Hi everyone.
Hi.
Thanks Akaiti for that introduction. I'm so glad she didn't introduce me as a poet, because it was interesting that we saw Professor Wale Soyinka, and I told myself if I was introduced as a poet, I would say that I'm not a poet. I am a writer. I take that, I am a writer, but I haven't studied poetry. I have taken a few literature classes. But with the likes of Professor Wale Soyinka, Miss Nikki Giovanni, Lanston Hughes, and the brilliant Charles Bukowski, there's no way that I could compare myself to them, so I take the title of a writer. I write poetry, but I write short stories as well. And I write about life, love, and loss. And today I will be sharing a few stories and then some 3 original poems that I wrote. And as I walked into the room, I kind of did a quick survey, and I told myself, I wonder what my subconscious would sound like today. And here's what I mean. I am Nigerian, and so I have an accent. I've been here about 2 decades now, but every time I speak, people look at me and say, do I hear an accent? Where are you from? And then I tell them, I'm Nigerian, and they're like, oh, you speak such good English. And I go, really? Nigerians do speak English, and then I go into the spiel of, well, we speak English, we're colonized by the British, but even besides all that, I'm quite educated. I went to school, but the truth is, I believe it was Naira Wahid that said this. It is not our ability to speak or write English that defines our intelligence, and that is the truth. When I first moved to the US, I worked at a retail store, and a young lady, American, was speaking to her friends. She was talking about someone had done something where she was, and she was describing it to them, and she looked at me and said, you won't understand this word that I'm going to use. And she said, so the person defecated. And I laughed, and I said, when I was 2 years old, my father used the word defecate. So I never said poo-poo. I said defecate. And she probably thought she was going to bring me down, but I think I embarrassed her a bit. And that is the truth. I never said poo-poo. I said defecate. It's been interesting to hear people say, well, you don't sound like Nigerian. I don't know what Nigerian sounds like. I don't know what American sounds like. I think we just sound like who we're meant to be. But I'll be honest with you, I work in corporate America, and when I get there, it's almost like I'm standing outside myself, and I sound like a puppet. And I stutter, and I stammer, and I'm so upset with myself. And so one day in the cafeteria, I saw a woman, she was speaking. And I said, oh, hi, are you Nigerian? She said, no, I'm Kenyan. And we got to talking. She said, I've been at work here for 10 years. I said, well, you don't sound anything like American. She said, well, I choose to be different. I'm not going to lose my accent. I'm like, here I am, struggling, trying to fit in. She said, why do you want to fit in? You need to stand out. You need to know you're intelligent. I remember going back to my desk and writing some sort of essay about that. I remember that moment, and I'm so proud of that moment. I still struggle with code switching. When I get on the phone, I tell myself, I'm going to sound like myself. They will know that I'm intelligent. They will know I have an accent, but it doesn't matter. But then my subconscious just starts to sound American. That's never quite right. And it's on that notion that I share this first poem. Before I go into that poem, I hope we do enjoy everything that we share here today. Beyond the entertainment, the applause, the laughter, I hope that it provokes the thoughts in us, and we go back and understand that regardless of how people sound, we do have stories to tell, we have truths to share, and they need to be heard beyond our accents. Enjoy. I am oceans, borders, several flights. Think Lagos, Zurich, London, don't ask me why. Then finally O'Hare, Chicago. Many layover hours and a day from home. It has been years, decades, since I traded airs for a new land. The closest I get to home these days is the occasional jollof I get to eat. At social gatherings I crash. By the way, I haven't gotten an invitation lately. I haven't found any parties to crash. And the few times I speak, honestly, quietly, my mother tongue into the phone on train rides from home after work, asking my sisters, should I go everybody okay? Dad didn't call, mom didn't call, show what? So please allow me the courtesy of these few minutes, no more than 10 if the connection holds strong. Do not yell. Speak American. Besides, American is not a language. Speak English. Go back to where you came from. This, for me, is a rare moment, a moment of belonging, to feel like I belong somewhere, to feel like I am home. My second poem is titled Accents. My mother's tongue is buried within my inner throat, heavily suppressed under the oppressions of rolled R's that never come out right. Park, pack, parking lot, no, parking lots, no, McDonald's, McDonald's, park, P-A-R, park, parking lot. I stutter. I stammer. Okay, we are going to park. Then I pack my things. I struggle with words I know I can say confidently, trying to sound posh. Is it McDonald's? McDonald? I'm at the corner of there's no helping me. The best I can do is sound like a drunk or bad version of a joke gone wrong. Accents. I wonder if there are any immigrants here, first generation. This is a story of many immigrants that I know, including myself. Some peel back their skins, twist out their tongues, swapping them for rolling R's. Some scale back their lives, wash the fire out their hearts, switching them for milder palates. Some hold back their dreams, starting all the way from the bottom, leaving the dreams for when night falls. Some peel back their skins, twist out their tongues, scale back their lives, wash the fire out their hearts. They hold back their dreams, leaving dreams for when night calls, only to find they still do not belong. They still will never fit in. Immigrants adapting. Thank you.